If Patrick Star from SpongeBob moved to St. Pete, this is where he'd live. You're going to want to stick around for this one because what looks like two giant rocks from the street is actually a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom dome home with a matching guest house. Today we're in St. Pete, touring one of the coolest and definitely one of the craziest homes I've ever had the pleasure of seeing. And I'm really excited to take you inside, but before we do, I want to give you a better look at the property from between the two domes. I mean, how incredible is this? I've toured so many unique homes, but I've genuinely never seen anything quite like this. Over here you have the main residence, and then right beside it is that guest house, which we'll tour a little bit later. But for now, it's time to head on in. And the first thing you notice when you step inside is just how massive this space feels. The ceilings are soaring at an astonishing 25 feet. And the curved architecture is so cool to witness. From the outside, you don't quite understand how large it is, but when you step inside, you're wowed at the scale of this home. It's so unexpected. Now we're heading into the kitchen, which is a really incredible space. Not only is it functional with the island and the countertop seating, but it also has a lot of personality. I love the use of color in this kitchen. You've got the lime green mid-century cabinetry, the multicolored paper lanterns hanging overhead, and then this rich wood backdrop leading all the way up to the loft, which we'll get to a little bit later. And all these colors contrast so beautifully against the crisp white walls. Alright, we're now heading into the first of 3 bedrooms, and even though the architecture is obviously the star, this is still a really livable bedroom. It's a good size, you have your own closet space, and there's plenty of space for a queen or king size bed. We're now heading into the first of 2 bathrooms, and this is a really cool space. Again, you have more of those bright colors, more of those rich wood tones, and this is also going to be where your laundry room is. Alright, let's talk about the history of this home because it's really interesting. Construction started in 1979 by a Palm Beach developer, and this home was actually originally intended to serve as a model home for an entire housing development. Well, that project was eventually abandoned, but this home remained and was completed in 1982. Now you might be wondering, how does someone make a home like this? Well, it's not done using traditional framing. This dome was actually formed with poured concrete, and architecturally it's considered postmodern, but it also shares a lot of mid-century modern characteristics, not just in the kitchen, but you'll notice there's clean lines, there's minimal decoration, open floor plans, and there's a strong connection to the outdoors. In fact, if you Google this home, you'll find a few articles with photos of the home previously furnished with some incredible mid-century furniture. I highly recommend checking it out. We're finally up to the loft space, and how beautiful is that view overlooking the first floor. And I love the glass walls at the entrance of the loft. They bring in so much light and keep everything feeling open. Then over to the left, this slider divider carves out the closet without making the room feel smaller. I also like how they did the same thing with the bathroom, but although it's compact, they use the space really well. So you still have a walk-in shower, double vanity, water closet, and then some really clever storage solutions as well. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, I love this house, but I don't know if I could live here full time. I'd love to just stay for a few days. Well, I bet a lot of people are thinking the same thing, which is why I think this would make an incredible short-term rental property. The short-term rental market's pretty saturated, so the properties that really succeed are the ones that offer guests an experience they can't get anywhere else, and this home absolutely delivers. The location's pretty incredible as well. You're between 10 to 15 minutes to downtown St. Pete Pier, Fort DeSoto Park, and the St. Pete Beach. Side note, how cute is that pigeon and its nest? Alright, we're going to check out the guest house in just a second, but before we do, I want to show you how much yard space this property offers. You could add a pool, a pickleball court, a playground. Honestly, there's enough room to do something really special with it. And the entire perimeter of the property is fully fenced. And we're finally stepping into the guest house. This is a really spacious studio with ceilings that rise up to 16 feet. You've also got your own laundry area behind the kitchen there, a full kitchen with Bosch appliances, and a full bathroom, so it functions completely as an independent living space. You could use this for guests, turn it into a private office, or I love the idea of a creative studio. Rent it separately while living in the main house, or potentially even operate both as short-term rental units and get twice the income. Last but not least, as if it couldn't get any better, you have your own private courtyard, your own separate entrance, and your own motorized gate, which makes this space completely separate from the main house. And that completes the tour. If you like this type of content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post cool houses all throughout Tampa Bay. If you want to tour this home or you're interested in buying or selling, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, or write me a DM. Peace.